So hello guys, I'm back with a new lecture on my channel Let's Maths. In this particular lecture, we're basically continuing our topic from sets to relations and functions. In my last topic, I had finished the lecture on sets, and from today's topic, I will be introducing relations to you people. So before understanding relation, we need to understand about ordered pairs and about Cartesian product of two sets. So without wasting any further time, let's start. So, starting with ordered pairs. What is an ordered pair? Suppose we have two numbers A and B. Okay, we have two numbers A and B, or we have better we call we have two elements A and B. Arranging these elements together, arranging these elements together in some form basically introduces to us the term ordered pair. Pair means two. So here we are doing our job using two elements, hence a pair. Why is it called ordered? Because here we are arranging the two elements in some particular order, keeping one of the elements first and the other element second. Here A is called the first element and B is called the second element. Okay. And basically this A refers to an element which belongs to a set A, capital A, and B is another element which belongs to a set capital B. We can somehow arrange each element from each of these sets in some form, keeping them together, and this particular form is called an ordered pair. Ordered pair. We have certain properties of this ordered pair. The main property of the ordered pair is AB is not equals to BA. AB is not equals to BA. But if it is so, then A equals to B. Okay? AB is not equals to BA. A very common notion to describe this is that we are using the term ordered. Ordered means, like in computer programming you are often case sensitive. What does it mean? It means that the computer will observe an uppercase letter different from its lowercase letter. Okay? Similarly here, this order, though they are having the same elements, still this order is considered to be a different setup than this order. And they can only be equal if A equals to B. From here we can come out with a general notion that AB equals to CD implies that A equals to C and B equals to D. Okay? From here we can, I am not describing any sort of problem of this question because it is not that important. The main importance is the introduction to relations. Okay? So this is what we call to be an ordered pair. Let us move on to Cartesian product. Cartesian product of two sets. Okay? Now suppose you have a set A which contains elements denoted by small a, and there is another set B which contains elements denoted by small b. Okay. A cross B is a set of ordered pairs of elements from both A subset, elements from both A set and B set, A belonging to A and B belonging to capital B. This set thus formed determines the A cross B set. This cross is known as the Cartesian product. We can define the product of two sets in terms of ordered pair of its elements. Okay? For example, if A equals to 1, 2 and 3 and B equals to 2, 3 and 4, then what will be A cross B? A cross B will be all ordered pairs of elements of A and that of B. Now, to be observed that the elements of A is always the first element, right? So the first element should be from A. So let us take 1. Then we have to place the elements of B with the element of A. So 1 with 2, 1 with 3, 1 with 4. Okay? The purpose of 1 is now over. Now we will be moving on to 2. So 2 with 2, 2 with 3 and 2 with 4. Similarly 3 with 2, 3 with 3 and 3 with 4. Also to be observed that each ordered pair is a distinct element of the set. Okay? Each ordered pair is a distinct element of the set. Now, what should be the cardinality of A cross B provided the cardinality of A is P and cardinality of B is Q? You can easily calculate it from this example itself. See, cardinality of A is 3 and cardinality of B is 3. What is the cardinality of A cross B? It is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is very much observable that if n of P being a set is Q and n of Q is P, then n of capital P cross capital Q is PQ. Okay? Very fine, very easy, right? Okay. So now we will be studying certain very important properties of Cartesian product, from which often question comes in all sorts of exams, provided competitive exams too. See, relations are most emphasized in your board exams. When you will be moving on to the competitive level of mathematics, say your IIT JEE exam, KVPY exam, ISI exam, CMI exam, PubDate exam, any exam, you will find that the most emphasis goes on functions. The reason being, functions are a certain sort of relation itself. Functions are a certain sort of relation itself with certain significant properties which make it very much applicable in the field of mathematics. Any sort of polynomial can be expressed with a function, and function is indeed one of the most fundamental basis of algebra. Okay? Graphical representation of function is a widely used application in mathematics, and hence I told that the lecture on functions will be quite long, because I will be going through very deep details including graphical representation of each algebraic and transcendental functions. I will be also be introducing the graphs of conic sections in functions lecture itself. So let's move on with the properties of Cartesian product. Properties of Cartesian product. Now I expect all my viewers to already have known about the operations and such, because we are going to need it here. So let's see. The first property of Cartesian product is A cross B union C is A cross B union A cross C. A cross B union A cross B union C is A cross B union A cross C. Next you have A cross B intersection C is A cross B intersection A cross C. Okay, you have to memorize this a bit. As you will be solving problems, right? As you will be solving problems, you can easily, you are already revising these formulas and it will get deep seated in your mind. Okay. Achha. Next part. A cross B minus C is A cross B minus A cross C. Now I guess you people know what is B minus C, elements present in B but not in C. Okay. Okay. Number 4. Let me write it like this. A being a subset of B implies A cross A is a subset of A cross B intersection B cross A. Okay, this is very important. Give it a star. This is very important. If A is a subset of B, then A cross A is a subset of A cross B intersection B cross A. Okay, next, if A is a subset of B, then A cross C is a subset of B cross C, provided C is any set. Okay, next, if A is a subset of B and C is a subset of B, then A cross C is also a subset of B cross B. Okay, number 7, if A is a void set and B is also a void set, then A cross B is also a void set or a null set. Next we have, if A cross B equals B cross A, then A equals to B. Also remember guys that A here is not an element but a complete set itself. Okay, A is not an element but a set. In each of the cases, all the variables represented by A, B, C, D are all representing sets and not elements of the set. Okay. Okay. Next you have, if A and B has n common elements, then A cross B has n square common elements. Get it? If A cross B has n common elements, then A cross B has n square common elements. Okay, just excuse me for a second. Okay, has n square common elements with B cross A. Got it? If A and B has n common elements, then A cross B has n square common elements with B cross A. So these are all the properties of Cartesian product of two sets. So make sure you remember these things. The most important from them are these ones. This one is not simple, this one is very general. This one can be easily formulated. These 4 are very important. Let me mark them with a red pen. These 4 are the most important ones. These 4. They are very important. Okay? Make sure you know these 4 properties. Now we introduce you to relations. What are relations? See, relations is relation between two sets is also a set. Relation R between two sets is also a set. What sort of a set? It is a subset of Cartesian product of the two sets. Very confusing, right? Let me show you with an example. Say, what I told is that R being a relation of A to B is a set which is a subset of A cross B. Now, what do we basically mean by relation? Now, a certain sort of glimpse of relation I had already showed in my previous lecture, where I had taught you the graphical solution, how to solve problems graphically, right? So that is actually the main meaning behind relations. Like you know that A cross B, in A cross B the set consists of all ordered pairs of elements from first set and elements of second set, provided this condition, right? Now R will also contain AB, but here is a certain change of notion. What is the change in notion? The change in notion is that in the relation set, B is related to A in some function form, or better say B is related. B is related to A, provided A belongs to A and B belongs to capital B. Now see, this is very much clear. You can relate these two and find out that all the elements of R belong to A cross B, right? Because A cross B contains all the possible ordered pairs between AB, and relation set contains ordered pairs between AB, provided a certain condition is valuable here. That means that all elements of R are also there in A cross B. Hence, R is a subset of A cross B. Okay. Now let me show an example of what we usually know as relation set. Say A has 1, 2 and 3, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Okay. Say 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3 and B has say 1, 4, 6, 9, 16, 25, and we say that B is related to A by relation B equals to A square. B is related to A by relation B equals to A square. This means that the relation set will consist of the first element as 1 and the second element as the square of 1, which belongs to the set B. That means 1. Now 1 has no more square, right? Now we will take 2. 2 has the square 4, which belongs to B, so B. 3 has the square 9, which also belongs to B. But A has no more elements, so this is the subset. Now A cross B would also be containing these 3 elements, right? 3, 9, 2, 4 and 1, 1. Hence we can easily say that R is a subset of A cross B, and this is the way we formulate relation set. Okay, this is very clear, right? The first element will be somehow related to the second element. Okay, this is basically a way of you can understand it very simply by saying that you are probably plotting out all possible relations between the elements of two sets via another set. Okay. Now the main part of relations by which I will be ending this lecture today is domain and range of relations. And students are often confused between range and codomain. So we will be also be getting the differences known. Okay. So what is the domain? Say I have a relation R equals to AB. B is a function of B is basically it is written as like this. Okay. Basically A R B means that they are related to each other. Okay, or B is related to A. Okay. So A B A R B, A belongs to A and B belongs to B. The set containing the first elements of R is called domain. That means the set A is basically the domain. The set A is basically the domain here. Now one more thing, that is the set A always the domain? Is the set A always the domain? No. basically set A is not completely a domain always. Reason being, see, suppose we are taking the previous example itself. A is 1, 2, 3 and B is say 1, 4, 6, 16, 25. Now 1 has its square, 2 has its square, 3 does not have its square here, right? That means the relation set will not include 3 also, because it has no related element in the other set. Hence the domain of the relation between these two sets, provided that, as I told there, B is equals to A square, the domain here will be 1 and 2. We also write it as A minus 3. Okay. So you can often be asked to find a domain. You will be given a relation. You will be asked that what is the domain of this particular relation. Okay. So you can also get it like this, that all the first elements which you have in the relation set is the domain. Okay. What is the range? The range is all the second elements which are present in the relation set. All the second elements which are present in the relation set. Now it is also not mandatory that the whole second set, that is the whole of B, will be a range. No. Here comes the difference between range and codomain. Range are those elements which are related to the elements in the first set and are there in the relation set. Those values are called range. And what is a codomain of a relation? A codomain of a relation is that particular set which contains the range as its elements. That means the whole of B is not range but codomain. And 1, 4, and if 9 would have been there, then 9 would have been the range of the relation. Okay. One more thing, that is basically a property of relation. In the next class, we will be discussing the types of relation, and then we will be moving on to the introduction to functions. One more thing, total number of relations between A and B provided cardinality of A is P and cardinality of B is Q is 2 to the power of PQ. Okay. Total number of relations possible between set A and set B, provided the cardinal number of set A is P and the cardinal number of set B is Q, is 2 to the power PQ. So thus we are ending this lecture now. In the next lecture we will be talking about the types of relations which we have, then solving certain problems, and then we will introduce functions to you, and in the next lecture we will be having the graphical representation and a broad analysis of functions. So do like, share and subscribe my video. I will have my Instagram page given in the description box below. So thank you guys. Thank you all.